Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Living from the Heart, Series 6. My name is Den Dial, and I'd like to take you on a journey. The purpose of these series is short stories talking about the condition, the human condition, the things that we all experience. I'd like to start off with this story. This story is about a couple in the West. And it starts with their first date. And for the purpose of names, which is not the real names, we'll say the man is Dan and the woman is Sally. So Sally and Dan met each other. And they had a strong connection to be with each other. You know, as Sally would say, Dan makes me laugh. You really appreciate me. In the early stages of their relationship and their courtship, like most relationships, people are very careful not to do things that are offensive or break wind or do anything that is just really distasteful. And they were very careful, Sally and Dan. And so, as the relationship started to continue to flow, they decided, hey, why don't we get married? And the guy said, well, we've been shacking up for quite a while. Do you think it's necessary? I said, why not? She said, why not? For many different reasons. So they did. So after that engagement of marriage, time moved on. And with time brought about an interesting change. He lost his job, and he was able to get another job. He invested in certain things that he lost. She had a couple of jobs that she got pink slips of because it was, the company closed down. I mean, there were many what we call perils and ups and downs that most of us face being in the world. But what was interesting about Sally and Dan was something started to really deteriorate because of Dan's financial problems and worry. He started drinking. First it started off, just having a social drink, in the evening time with a meal, and pretty soon, with all the disappointments and things and betrayals that he felt based upon his coworkers and stuff like that, he started picking up the bottle, and it started soothing him in a way where it felt comfortable. While that was happening, Sally was continually working, doing the best she can. Now, they hadn't had any children yet, but they were, they were so caught up in what just really living that, that kept them busy. Now, as time moved on, Dan started to really develop some real severe habits of drinking, and almost to a point where he refused to do anything. He refused to do anything. He just sort of just laid around the house. He developed what we call a large belly. He was just very bitter and very resentful. And Sally, she didn't know what to do because it was like he became very abusive. What she started to realize is that there was no love. The love was gone. And what she was trying to figure out is, when did it happen? When did it start? And so as this continual abuse started to take place, and his lack of not caring for her, or not really being there, or not even wanting to talk, but constantly, you know, constantly at the bottle, constantly at the bottle, and just maybe occasionally watching the games and just constantly at the bottle. Occasionally he'll have his friends come over and they too would start doing the whole thing of drinking and stuff. Um, her eyes started to wander elsewhere, looking for something that was long lost. Now, some of you may say, wait a minute, she's going outside of the marriage. Yeah, but the old folks have often said, be careful of judging people by what they do if you have never walked in their shoes. One of the things, as time moved on for her, she realized that she could not continue to be in a relationship. She had talked with him. She had also encouraged him, let's go some counseling. He refused on every hand. And he gave the impression like she's always going to be there. And that's not always the case. Now, I can stop right here, and this story can go pretty many different ways. But I'm just stopping right here to say that these are things that happen in real life. But when someone decides that they cannot no longer take it anymore, and they believe that they can do better, that's when the change takes place. The change takes place in people's lives when you believe in your heart of heart, in your heart, that I can do better here. I know I can. I just need to find a direction and find a way. And use it, find a way either in other people or in situations that will arise. So, as always, remember to thy own self be true, for the whole hard path of life awaits you. Have a blessed, prosperous day.